All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Can you believe it, Tanner? We are live.
We are live.
Live. Before we get into anything, as always, please pause and read the disclaimer. Anything Tanner and I say are our own personal opinions. We do not know your situation. Please do your own due diligence. We do not know your situation. Keep that in mind. Anything we talk about, our ideas and what we are doing. So please read the disclaimer. Tanner, why don't you kick it off? Sounds like you got something to say.
No, I was just talking about this Bernie Sanders thing about the moratorium for data centers. And you don't want to talk politics, but I don't even think it's political. Like, it's going directly against the stock, like what I believe in capitalism. And I think technology puts everyone on a similar playing field. I don't think it actually divides people. So you look at, I don't know, pick a billionaire, even like Mark Zuckerberg, he doesn't even want to use Apple. Like he doesn't like Apple. It's a direct competitor, but yet he still uses an iPhone. He's not using some billionaire version of an iPhone. He uses the same phone that you use.
How do you know he's not using an Android?
I mean, he might be, but I'm using an Android, So if he has a Samsung, I've got a Samsung. There's no billionaire 1% advantage there. There's no advantage on many of the newest technological advancements. And I think that a lot of the AI models that we are going to be using is going to be used by the same people who created them. And the reason why they would give up their top models is because of competition. There's not one winner, there's multiple winners. So you saw that from OpenAI. They didn't want to release their 4.0 model for a while, but then Gemini started really kicking up. DeepSeek ended up releasing. It was much better than people thought. So Sam Altman had to push out their frontier models much earlier than they wanted to. And I think that if there was a political thing that no one seems to be talking about for some reason, there is a race. There is an arms race of the United States versus China. And if like the happiest statement that Xi could have ever have wanted for a post was the moratorium on data centers from Bernie Sanders. What a gift for the Chinese government. I think that it's just crazy to call what a technological advancement is going to do for jobs and the average people. It's like, let's stop MySpace in its tracks. Let's stop the internet in its tracks. Let's stop cloud computing in its tracks. In like cloud computing in 2015. Where is this going to go? Where is smartphones going to go? Where is social media going to go? By the way, another thing that is the same services and tools that the 1% uses is the same ones that I'm using in terms of social media, messaging, the phones that I'm using, cloud computing, all of those things. Technology has not been the divider. It's been the inclusive savior. And I just think the whole thing's a big joke. Obviously, I'm biased. I have money in NVIDIA and wanting to, them to sell more chips, and Micron saying, hey, they are selling more chips. Like, I don't know if you saw that, but the estimates beat by such a large margin that, like, the fact that people are still going to potentially sell off or have more fears on this AI trade blows me away. OpenAI just raised another $100 billion at a $750 billion valuation. This came out like 20 minutes ago. And people are still going to sell off the same companies that they're using that $100 billion to go buy chips from. Like, it blows me away. Anyway, I'll let you speak. I'm just going on.
No, I'm listening. You're upset. I'm giving you the floor. I'm listening.
Well, yeah. I think AI is going to do good things.
Here's my stance. Okay. I saw it. I listened to it. And I'm choosing my words very carefully. I am very afraid of what AI does to jobs. I've made that very clear. Unemployment is up to 4.6%. And while it is not out of control yet, and on a historical basis, it is not in a crazy level, it is still the highest level in several years. The idea of AI advancing has the potential, and we don't know, the internet created more jobs than it destroyed. At the same time, we do not know what the combination of AI and robotics is going to do, and that could seriously impact jobs. Now, as far as putting a moratorium on data centers, I think that's the wrong way to go, only because America should lead the way in technology. We should not be led by another country. And when you think about the implications from a military standpoint, AI is the next frontier of military power. The US should maintain its dominance. As far as data centers, our companies are the best in the world. Microsoft, Amazon, Alphabet. The best Chinese company, to my knowledge, is Alibaba, and their cloud distribution is a speckle compared to the largest companies in the US. And I think it would be a tragedy for American innovation to be stalled or capped. Now, I do agree with some aspects of what he said or what he intended to say, depending on how you interpret it, that we have to be very careful about what this does to the job market and where we go in the future. Maybe ultimately we are going to need UBI. I don't know that we're going to get there. You're on mute.
Which he didn't talk about once.
Did not talk about. I am.
Didn't say a word about it.
I am saying it because I've said it before, and I think Yang was onto something, because I do think that when you think about a lot of back office jobs, you think about accounting, stuff like that, a lot of this I think is going to get disrupted, and I just don't know what we can do to replace that all at once. So I'm more worried about the job market from the ramifications of AI, not necessarily anything else. I do want American innovation to lead the way on this, and I think that's very important. So I am against the moratorium on data centers and the AI build out, but I do think our elected officials need to be looking long term as to what they're going to do if we start getting to a point where large companies are continuously exiting certain aspects of the company and eliminating jobs.
Yeah. This was from the All In podcast, and I can go check the Challenger Gray reports as well to just double check this. But they said AI is only accounting for 4.7% of total layoffs. And that number is self-reported from CEOs. So they also, or David Sachs thinks that that number is also being inflated because companies will blame it on artificial intelligence rather than blaming the non-performance based on themselves.
Right. And that's today. I'm saying 5-10 years in the future. I don't think we have a problem yet, but I do think we will have a problem, is what I am saying.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it might be a little too early to call, but yeah.
Oh, it's very early to call. I'm not saying that it isn't. It's very early to call.
What's it called? You were looking into Broadcom, however.
I gotta tell you, the more it goes down, the more I like it.
Dude, I mean, there's a lot of things going down right now. Are you interested in NVIDIA, perhaps, or?
I mean, I did make a statement that if it gets between 165 and 170, I'm probably a buyer again, and we're almost there. We're 94 cents away. So
yeah,
I like I said to Amit on his show, and like I said to him today, we needed two things to happen to avoid this, and we did not get it. We got 50% of the equation. And last week, the Fed cut rates. We had a great FOMC meeting. We had great economic projections out to 2028. We got the first half of the equation right. And then Oracle comes out and screws everybody over. And the AI bears, and I put out a very long post about this on X. It was about 2,400 words. The AI bears, I said this was going to happen before Oracle reported. If they came out with a massive debt position and took on more debt than they already had at a rate that was outstripping how much their cash from operations was growing compared to CapEx, they were going to be the poster child for an AI bubble. And what happened? They became a poster child for an AI bubble. And what Oracle is doing and how Oracle is deciding to fund their build out has nothing to do with everybody else. It didn't help that the next day, Broadcom reports what everybody thought was a strong quarter from a numbers standpoint. And then on the earnings call, they make a comment that they don't have clear visibility into AI revenue, which I think they meant they can't tell you how much it's going to be in the future and what mix of the new revenue is AI compared to other things. But this is the number that we're going to do, which would have been fine. I don't think they delivered it in that fashion. And that was the whipped cream on top of the icing, on top of the sundae to top everything off, because Oracle's numbers were so freaking bad. When you look at their balance sheet and their cash flow statement, it gave the bears and it gave the narrative all the kerosene to throw on top of the coals that were simmering to create the bonfire, because they are going about this from a much different position than the hyperscalers. And then you have the Blue Owl news. Blue Owl is one of the top tier equity firms out there. I would say them, KKR, and Ares Capital are the three big ones. And for them to back out is a big deal. This isn't some little firm. The other thing is, when you look at the backlog, Microsoft's backlog was $392 billion. For Oracle to come out with $560 billion or whatever it was, and it was so much more than Microsoft, so much more than Alphabet, so much more than Amazon. Now you have some people speculating how much of that is actually going to turn into revenue and be monetizable. And how long? What is the runway? Is this 2 years or is this 10 years? How long out is it? Because that's a lot of freaking RPO, especially when you look at their actual revenue. They did 16 billion in revenue in one quarter, and you're talking about having 590 or 560 billion in RPO. So Oracle gave the bears exactly what they wanted. I think this is a gift for a lot of companies, but it's going to be a lot of short-term pain. And unfortunately, we were in a situation where a lot of high beta names got to places they should have never been. You had pre-revenue companies or companies that are losing money that are not profitable get to multi 10 billion levels, 20, 30, 40 billion dollars when they have no business being there. People probably went on leverage and got called in a position where they had to sell into weakness because they didn't have the assets on hand to back up the freaking margin call. And that probably made it even more drastic to the downside. And I think we got to get back to a place where, hey, guess what, everybody? You make 15 or 20% a year, you're actually doing pretty good. Yeah. It's not realistic to generate 100% returns in 3 months. It's not realistic to get 100% every year. It's not realistic. It's not normal, and it should not be normalized. And there's too many high beta names because everybody, not everybody, let me phrase it like this. a certain cohort of the market wants to make as much money as they can. And trust me, I get it. But at the same time, they're not doing the fundamental analysis. They're not caring about numbers. They're not caring about profitability. And they just want the dopamine hit. They want the freaking zeros at the end of the account in an unrealistic way that is much more risky. And when you go into high beta and you take on that risk, unfortunately, things like this can happen. And when it does, those companies have a much bigger drawdown than the companies that are doing tens of billions of dollars in profitability.
So I do want to clarify, though, if there is companies that are growing above and that is sustainable, like, for example, NVIDIA, they've been holding up a very large growth rate, much higher than people expected, much higher than Wall Street expected. That does deserve a premium.
Absolutely.
And that premium is, at least to my knowledge, the way that I'm looking at it, is not holding up. Like, to a company that's growing at 65% and dominates a total addressable market that's growing at 50%, for them to be selling at 40 times, 42 times trailing PE, that makes no sense to me.
Can I show you what makes even less sense?
The fact that OpenAI just raised $100 billion and
We'll
they're going to put up
talk about
100% of that
OpenAI
into NVIDIA chips.
We'll talk about OpenAI in a minute because I got a tinfoil hat theory on that one.
Go ahead.
The fact that NVIDIA is trading.
This dark mode, by the way, is... I saw a clip of you saying that dark mode has saved your life, but this is not it.
Well, how would you like this to be? This is what Tevis told me to do.
No. Well, I'll show you after. I won't do it live, but I'll show you after.
Tell me live.
Well, you need to just get Dark Reader, which is an extension for your Google Chrome or whichever browser you're using, and then it'll change all the white pixels to black and all the black pixels to white.
All right, I'll do it after. Anyway.
Yeah. That's what, yeah.
So I updated this so nobody can freaking call me out on the dates, okay? These companies all report on different fiscal years because they don't all report on a calendar year. NVIDIA finishes in January, their fiscal year. This is really 2025 EPS, but it says January 26 because they actually end their fiscal year in January. Now, they're trading at 36.5 times this year's earnings. When Walmart, that finishes on the same calendar year as freaking NVIDIA, trades at 43.8 times. And Walmart's got 26% growth over the next 2 years, where NVIDIA has 105%. NVIDIA is trading at 18 times forward. Walmart, 35 times. That makes 0 sense. And you want to know what makes less than 0 cents? Costco. You want to know why? Costco is trading at 35.5 times. Thank God it's been coming down. But NVIDIA does Costco's entire net income in less than 4 weeks.
Yeah, but look at the market cap too, though. I don't know if, like...
I'm just saying.
I know you're just saying, but...
Just saying, they do Costco's entire net income in less than 4 weeks, and they have 5 times as much EPS growth over the next 2 years, yet it gets a bigger multiple. That's insane.
Yeah. Yep.
Microsoft, look, you have the greatest companies that have ever been assembled. You have the greatest CEOs, the greatest cash flows, and the greatest balance sheets in Microsoft, Apple, Meta, Amazon, and Alphabet. And Microsoft is trading at 21 times forward. Apple is 27. Little pricey, but not crazy for a company that does over 100 billion. And then Microsoft, Amazon, and Alphabet all trading under 24 times forward. And people want to think we're in an expensive market. Like, we may be in an expensive market with high beta names that don't deserve to be where they are. But my own opinion, I am not getting out of any of my big tech positions because I truly believe that this is going to reverse in 26. People seem to have forgotten how good Q3 earnings were and what these companies guided for. And oh, check the calendar, everyone. It's December 17th. In 1 month from now, we're back in earnings season. And in 5.5 weeks from now, big tech is reporting, and we're probably going to get record years across the board in revenue and profitability. And what's the
thing
story
is,
going to
like,
be then?
if you look at Sigig's comment above, he says Costco, unlike Nvidia, is a proven company with a moat for decades, which is definitely true. Nvidia has had times of negative growth and then times of explosive growth. Absolutely, that deserves a premium over Nvidia. But sorry, that section of their premium deserves to be more. I think maybe putting up growth that is, 200% year over year, 65% year over year, 75% margins sort of fills that gap. But regardless, it has a higher multiple than Amazon that does have that success over decades. They're, an incredible moat. And then on top of that, they have the largest cloud segment. Like, I don't understand how Costco has a bigger multiple than Amazon. That stuff blows me away.
It doesn't make any sense.
It has all the benefits of the recurring revenue that Costco does, with also the explosive, like, fast-growing nature of, AI, robotics, owning your own delivery network, cutting out a lot of the third parties. Like, I really think Amazon should have that multiple that Costco does.
I agree with you 100%. The problem with the Costco Amazon debate is everybody wants to talk about Costco's membership. They want to talk about the fact that it's recession proof. It's got a 2.97% profit margin. And Tanner obviously said this because he knows it's going to set me off, because Amazon can encroach on Costco's business anytime they want. All they have to do is call General Mills. What
I got to back out, dude. This is
a
you comment. This is you.
All they have to do is call the CEO of General Mills, call the CEO of Procter & Gamble, call the CEO of freaking Kraft Heinz, et cetera, and be like, listen, we want you to build a store on our website, e-commerce platform. It's not even a website, e-commerce platform. And we want to sell bulk. We'll take care of everything else. And then guess what? What's my time worth? If I can get everything that I want at Costco, except for the Kirkland brand stuff, on Amazon, how many people are going to stop going to Costco? Because it's a time suck to go to Costco. Amazon's already got the infrastructure. They can deliver it. And that should be something that Costco should be very worried about. Not to mention,
here's the thing. You know what? I don't like the investment as much as I like the product, but the product at Costco is unbelievable.
Oh, I love it. Listen, I'm not allowed to go to Costco because I'll fill up 2 shopping carts with just candy and junk food.
Do you know how long you're allowed to return an item for at Costco?
No, I have no idea.
Take a guess. Like, what do you think would be a reasonable business practice?
30 days, but you're probably going to tell me a year or some shit.
Yeah, there is none.
That's insane.
So you can go, and this has been done, and people have taken advantage of this. They'll go buy a couch, live in it, like it be a fully used couch, and then return it and buy a new one. I mean, Costco, look at all the people that love it. Forever, no limit. Exactly. It's the best. And if you know about it, mwah. And then, you know what I like? You just find certain items at Costco you fall in love with. I'll be a forever user. So that's why I understand that they do have a premium. But I'm also going to be a forever user of Nvidia too.
Okay, but how about this? Costco and Amazon both sell on a product base the same freaking thing. The difference is one of them has a full cloud infrastructure. The other one does not. The other one owns all these media assets. The other one doesn't. Look at all the companies freaking Amazon owns.
Completely. Which I think should all be beneficial to their multiple.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon at this point, some of the parts is probably greater than the current valuation. And Tanner just wants to laugh and laugh and laugh, but I'm not going to.
No, so someone said that they could set up NVIDIA racks between the two spaces in the parking lot.
Oh, the problem is that Costco is never going to generate the revenue that Amazon does. It won't generate the profitability that Amazon does. It doesn't have the growth that Amazon does, but it gets a bigger multiple. We're in a broken market in some aspects because these companies are looked at as defensive. Well, last time I checked, Costco's dividend is for shit. Like, you're not buying Costco for the dividend. You're going to go buy a Verizon or Altria Group or Realty Income for the dividend.
Or an NVIDIA.
Let's not get crazy here.
BMNR?
Income investors are not going after Costco's dividend. They're going after other companies' dividends. And it really burns me that those two companies are trading where they are. And I wouldn't have a problem with it if the standard was 28 to 32 times for 18 to 24% EPS growth. And then for higher EPS growth, you got slapped with a 35 to 40 multiple. That's not happening. It's picking and choosing, saying that we're going to give a lower multiple to tech because we don't understand the staying power of these companies. But because Walmart and Costco sells food, they have staying power, so we're going to give them a bigger multiple. Well, Amazon sells food too. Why aren't you giving them a bigger multiple? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
The day I can buy those Fairlife protein shakes on Amazon for, like $40 a pack, I'll buy them from Amazon. But for now, they're at Costco, and they're the greatest thing that they sell.
The greatest thing that they sell.
They're essentially prepackaged protein shakes that it tastes like a milkshake. I mean, it's phenomenal. I don't know how they do it. Lactose free.
I don't know what to tell you, but that we do not support lactose free. Okay, we support that whole milk.
No. It still is real milk. They just add lactase, like the enzyme. Anyway, okay.
We support that whole milk.
Do you want to talk some SoFi or more Bernie Sanders?
No, I mean, look, I don't want to get political. I said my piece. I think you said your piece. I think it's just wrong to not want American innovation to lead the way. I'm leaving my statements at that.
Yeah, I hope America continues to lead as well. I'm sure we'll get back to the AI conversation. By the way, are we watching the Trump thing at 9 as well?
I mean, we can put it on, but if he's being typical Trump, I don't want to watch it. I only want to watch it if it's actual real news.
He lives in
and not a freaking rally. You know what I mean?
I get you. You're siding with your mayor. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, I have to want my mayor to do well, correct?
No, of course. It's just a.
I mean, it would be pretty bad if I said, I want him to fail, because I don't. Like, I want New York to succeed.
Fun little joke. Just a little joke, guys. Everyone chill. Mamdani Milk Gang.
Look, I'm interested in what Trump has to say if he's actually talking about something.
We'll take a look at it at 9. Yeah. But did you see the podcast that SoFi Anthony Noto was part of?
It's so boring to listen to.
What?
It was so boring to listen to.
What are you talking about? Did you watch it through the clips that I clipped out, or did you try listening to the whole thing flat?
No, the whole thing flat is so boring to listen to.
I cut out the parts that you needed to listen to. So 1, SoFi USD is being built on Ethereum. I'll show you this clip. It's only 45 seconds.
Remember who said I didn't believe it was going to be built on Bitcoin?
No one said it was going to be built on Bitcoin. No one said that.
Everybody was saying a Lightning Network, Lightning Network.
No. Okay, listen. I keep telling you're getting two things confused. If you go to send money via SoFi Pay right now, you are using Bitcoin. That's not up for discussion. You are like, you can go to Lightspark right now.
Okay, sure.
Like, it is using Bitcoin. But the stable coin was up for discussion on whether it was Solana or Bitcoin, or Solana or Ethereum. I hate that I just stuttered on that, because now it's going to be lost on you that it's, once again, not ever Bitcoin.
Are we allowed to show this or not?
Of course. Yeah.
Now,
and in fact, the lady on the upper right and it retweeted this, so they like.
Let me ask you something. I've never heard of these people. Who are they, and why did Noto go on?
No idea. I had a source tell me that Noto is like it is an internal thing that they want to get their statement out there more. So I think he's going to be showing up on many more things.
Yet he ain't coming on our show.
Not a chance.
He ain't coming on our show, and we're the most pro SoFi people out there.
I know. That's why they don't need to turn any more heads. Everyone's already in love. So he's going to the places that don't know about him. And I honestly, that might be fair. But
I'd say it's not.
Let's go ahead and have a listen to this. It's only 45 seconds, but this is about their potential new products that, Steve, have a listen.
You know, hold on. Before you do it, I'm sending him an email.
Okay.
I'm sending him an email saying, hey, I saw you come on this. What's the real reason you don't want to hang out with us?
Okay.
And yes, I do have his email address.
He tweeted out his email address, by the way, the other day.
Which one did he tweet out?
Something like Anthony Noto at SoFi or something like that.
Okay.
But did you hear that whenever I played it for 1 second? You could hear the audio?
I can hear the audio.
Okay, perfect.
We have a technology platform that does about 8 billion transactions a year. It's leveraging wires, ACH, debit, credit. We'll introduce SoFi USD stablecoin as a form of payment there. Again, faster, cheaper, and safer. And then I think there's a huge opportunity to help large companies do settlement 24/7. Today, the card networks are not doing settlement on Saturday and Sundays. Many businesses are not. And SoFi USD could be used to make settlement on a 24/7 basis, and even doing it much more than once or twice a day. In addition to that, we're launching big business banking. SoFi USD will be a key component for all of the companies that want to operate in fiat and crypto to be able to do it in one bank.
Did you hear that?
I heard it.
Big business banking.
It's not what I want, though.
What, small business banking?
I'm just saying, keep going.
Well, that was one of them. I've got another one on the products that they're going to be unveiling really quick. This is a 26-second clip. This is all the crypto products that they want to get into either by the end of the year or in 2026. You share this?
And by the way, for the people listening, I was not using his SoFi one. I have his actual email.
We have a pretty ambitious roadmap across a number of different products. We've launched SoFi Pay, which leverages Bitcoin and soon to be SoFi USD. We've launched buy, sell, and hold for consumers. We'll launch that for institutions in 2026. SoFi USD will be out within days. That will be another sort of part of the roadmap. And then secured lending and staking and rewards will also follow. We have a pretty ambitious roadmap across a number of different products. We've launched SoFi Pay, which leverages Bitcoin and soon to be SoFi USD. We've launched buy, sell, and hold for consumers. We'll launch that for institutions in 2026. SoFi USD will be out within days. That will be another sort of part of the roadmap. And then secured lending and staking and rewards will also follow.
Let's go back really quick because I think he said something. Where was it? You're right.
You want me to put it back up?
Yeah, just real quick.
Pay, which leverages Bitcoin and soon to be so.
Which leverages Bitcoin. Okay.
All right, so hold on. Thank you very much, conservative millennial. Energy is the play. I agree with you. We need way more energy. I've been talking about energy for a while. Utilities are also going to do well. Jonathan, thank you very much. I'm not leaking the email, but I am sending him an email, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. If he's going to start going on places, I think he should come on SoFi Weekly. Or FinTech Friday. It's not SoFi Weekly anymore. FinTech Friday. Sorry.
They're launching institutional trading, crypto trading, which, you know, I think that's really interesting. Maybe that's part of a Galileo product. SoFi USD is coming in days. They're going to do secured lending, meaning they're going to use your crypto as collateral. Coinbase is doing that right now. SoFi obviously will be able to do that as well. I don't know, man. 2026 seems to be the year like everyone's like thinking that, you know, it's just a bank or something like this, like multiple more rate cuts, massive dilute. Well, if I just say massive dilution, that just sounds like it's bad, but that dilution was to raise a bunch of capital. And at the price that they diluted at, which was like $29, it should have impacted their stock roughly 5%, 4.8%, because that's how much they diluted. And since then, we've gone from $29 down to $25 a share. Let's not forget that they just raised $1.7 billion.
Mm-hmm.
With the rate cuts, with the new products, with the faster speed of innovation, with the highest amount of downloads that they've ever seen, with the highest amount of new user engagement, I don't see how this is not a slam dunk. I think it might be up there on my like highest conviction plays for 2026 alone, let alone the long term. But for 2026, I don't know if there's many names I'm more excited about.
Yeah, so SoFi's 2026 fiscal year is going to be a head-turning year, I believe. There's more catalysts in 26 than there has been any other year. And I have a feeling that we are going to see something that's going to shock people. Now, lower rate environment is going to increase originations. You look at where personal loans is versus student loans and housing, vastly superior. Hopefully, housing market gets unlocked and student loan refinancing starts to really kick into high gear, and we see a tremendous amount of originations. As rates come down, SoFi is going to have to pay less in interest, which lowers their cost of funding, which should increase their net interest margin, which should increase net interest income, which should cause banking profitability to explode. In addition, full quarter of crypto, full quarter of options. You have potential for some deals on the AWS of fintech with banking. There's a lot of things to look forward to in the first half of 2026.
What else are you excited about? No, aside from SoFi, because I sort of named this live stream. Always hard to name live streams because I never really know what we're going to talk about. But what are we buying right now? I'll say I bought 3 stocks today: SoFi, Amazon, and Nebius. And Nebius was by far the largest purchase out of those. And I had to trim something in order to make those purchases. But
so I am getting dangerously close to starting a position in Broadcom. Now, Adam James Abroad, thank you very much. A super chat. Are you guys selling SoFi covered calls for now? I am bearish until the market stabilizes, and we are also at key support levels right now. I could use the dollars. I am not, because there's not enough premium in it for me. Tanner?
yeah, same. I think I don't look to do covered calls too much whenever we're selling off like this. I think SoFi has the ability to rocket back very quick, and I don't want to have to deal with the rolling. So I usually do my covered calls very conservatively, and Yeah.
So Broadcom, I think, was tremendously overvalued over 400. Okay. Tremendously.
Okay, so we went from tremendously overvalued to now cheap enough to purchase.
Well, it's gone from what, 415 or 420 down to 326 in like a week.
Yeah. So what's your upside then? If we get back to 400, that's back into tremendously overvalued territory.
So I'm hoping Broadcom continues to go down. But on a forward basis, Broadcom is looking inexpensive to hold it for several years. Now, on the valuation today and the narrative, I think this can break and go under 300 short term. It's getting to be at an interesting point to start a position for at least a 2 to 3 year hold, probably more like 5 years, because the amount of growth that they should have over the next 2 or 3 years is going to be huge. Oracle, I am not bullish on, in all seriousness. I know the forward earnings look incredible. This looks like a slam dunk from a forward earnings basis. From a valuation standpoint and how dirty the balance sheet is, and I'm not saying it's going to get there. I originally thought I would get interested in Oracle around 140 or so. I would need Oracle to be under 100 to even consider it at this point because of how bad the balance sheet is.
And you wouldn't just want to pick up more NVIDIA?
I have a big enough position in NVIDIA where it needs to come down a little more to make sense. And what if we are in a narrative where the narrative just hurts NVIDIA for the next 6 months or so?
I don't see that narrative.
I don't see that happening.
Look at Micron. Like, what are we talking about? Like,
yeah, but Micron was the easiest freaking thing to see coming.
That is not true.
I said it when we did the stock draft. Pull it up.
So you saw them, their guidance going up by like 80%.
What do you remember what I said during the stock draft about Micron?
No, I don't remember what I ate for dinner.
Okay. What I said about Micron is people are sleeping on the fact that we need so much more DRAM for two things. One is obviously data centers. Or actually 3 things. One is obviously data centers, which we do, because all the servers need RAM. Security products have DRAM. Networking equipment has DRAM. You want to know what else has DRAM? Computers. And what did you have in October? Oh, that's right. You had Windows 10 sunsetting. And not everybody has changed out their computers yet. There's no more security patches for Windows 10. Now, it took a while for Windows 7 computers to work its way out of the cycle last time this happened. So, yes, Micron was easy to spot coming. That's why I put it in my portfolio for the stock draft.
Yeah, I don't mean that that for a 12-month outcome that you didn't see Micron doing well. I think that it was probably hard to spot that Q2 guidance expectations from Wall Street. How many analysts are on that name right now?
What, Micron?
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
If you could check really quick. But the estimate for Q2 guidance was $14.2 billion in sales and $4.49 in EPS. $4.49 of EPS. That was the average across Wall Street.
You got 29 analysts right now on.
That was the consensus across 29 analysts. And what they actually came out with, 14.2 became 18.7, and $4.49 became $8.82. Like, I was literally listening to the CNBC anchor, and she said, we're going to have to double check this for you guys, but supposedly they're saying that guidance is coming in at $8.42 above the estimates of $4.49. They thought it was a misprint.
Yeah, I mean, look, Micron's a great company. We are going to need more memory, and we're going to need more high bandwidth memory. Micron is one of the largest DRAM producers. I believe they're building out their own foundries.
But how does a company that's trading under 30 times PE that almost doubles their guidance, even go up by 8%? Like, that's how bearish of them. That's bearish. Like, It went up by 8%, but the estimate blew away expectations.
You realize they're only trading at freaking 12.5 times this year's earnings, right?
I'm sorry, on my thing it says 29 times.
Their EPS is expected to be $8.62.
Okay. How much are they worth right now?
Their market cap is $260 billion.
Yeah, I still think this comes out to about 30 times. Unless are you adjusting that for this quarter? Sorry?
For this year, for this current fiscal year. I'm not looking at trailing.
Oh.
They finished their fiscal year.
Yeah. Sorry, I see what you're saying. You're going all for the full fiscal year.
12.5 times this year's earnings.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were talking about trailing. Yeah.
No. So they're still trading at a. Now look, is it inexpensive from an earnings basis? Yes. Is DRAM a boom bust cycle? Yes. And do we know when the bust is going to be? No. So this is not going to get, in my opinion, to some crazy 25, 30 time multiple. But this could run a little bit. I think the easy money's definitely been made on this. I don't know how much more it goes. But their earnings report is super bullish NVIDIA. Because if you need that much DRAM to support everything, you better believe Jensen's hitting $65 billion this quarter in freaking revenue.
Yeah. And that means Nebius is going to be continuing their... and this is also what's crazy about the whole AI narrative as well. As this, saw on CNBC, they ended up posting about Arizona ends up declining data center build out, and they say no, and it's the right decision to make for them. And then you actually watch the video and they're like, well, we just have 10 data centers in the area, and the one that ended up coming up the blueprints like in a very main area, so we don't want to build a big computer there. It's like, okay, let's put a data center beside SoFi Stadium, like Inglewood would want that. It's like, no, I mean, there's 10 other data centers in the area. They clearly are saying yes to these data centers. But I don't know, man. There's like a propaganda machine trying to bring down this trade. And I'm usually not that I don't talk often about manipulation or these sort of things, but I just don't understand how people are looking at these estimates and just like calling it all, like every single one, a fad. Like every executive that I hear is like, no, one of the main things that we're going to look to qualify new employees is if they are proficient with artificial intelligence. And we need to train our employees quickly to learn how to use artificial intelligence. And if they don't, then that's going to be one of those things where we kick them to the curb. Shopify said the only way that we're going to hire new employees is if you guys can like accurately show us that you can't get that job done to meet your timelines with like efficient use of artificial intelligence. Every business is rushing in this direction. And then the multiples that they're willing to give these companies, not just for the build out, but for the software names as well. It's like Palantir is the only one that's even catching a premium.
Palantir is one of the most overvalued stocks I've ever seen in my life, if not the most. But
you would think every name a part of the chain would also look like that, but it's not. It's standing solo. Why is this?
I mean, I can show you a comparison that will blow your mind, but I'll do that in a little bit. I'm just looking at some other types of companies. I don't think we're in an expensive market. And I think we're in a situation where big tech is going to rebound. And I think that people are going to be surprised next year.
Do you think
how
that this
are the
Trump
Bears
announcement
betting against American innovation is what I want to know. How?
Who is?
The Bears are betting, like people who are listening to the Bears are listening to people that do not want America to exceed and are betting against American innovation. And if we know anything from technology from the past 3 decades, is that technology is not stagnant and it is always advancing. And we are always innovating. The rate of innovation is likely to be much more explosive now than it was over the past 10 years because of the implications of AI. I just think that this is crazy that so many people are trying to. This is just like when the NASDAQ hit 5,000 for the first time and then hit 10,000 for the first time. I remember those days.
Mm-hmm.
I remember those days when the NASDAQ hit 10,000 for the first time and then it went to 11 and everybody's like, this has got to go back down to 7 or 8, blah, 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 blah. It's like, why?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why? Are companies' earnings not expanding? Are balance sheets not expanding? Like, what's the reason it has to go down?
AI is the biggest cause of GDP growth.
Not to mention, there are companies that should not be where they are. I'm sorry, Oklo at 180 should never be there. Ever, ever, ever be there. SMR should never have been where it was. Realistically, Palantir should not have gone to where it did.
Well,
I'm going to say a company that you like, Hood probably should not have gone to where it got to.
careful.
There's a lot of companies that should not have gone where they got to. But that does not mean that the biggest and best companies in the world should be trading at the valuations that they are.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say, I think a lot of people are going and looking back at the .com bubble and they're wanting, you know, or they think that this is all going to bust and that this is like AI is a big fad or something like this.
Can I tell you why? Because they're dumb.
Well,
seriously, Oracle is the worst thing that happened to us because they're the poster
it's Oracle
child.
and OpenAI. It's those two.
Or OpenAI is not public. We don't have visibility into their numbers.
No, but here's the thing.
I'm not going to put them in the camp. I don't know what the numbers are.
Yeah, but you know that their growth is not being funded by operating cash flows. It's being operated by them continuously raising and finding partnerships.
But I don't know what their balance sheet looks like. I don't know how much cash they have versus debt. I don't know what their net liquidity position is. I'm not willing. That word is not coming out of my mouth. Right now, Oracle is the poster child because they have a negative liquidity position of around $80 billion. Their CapEx is increasing significantly more than their cash from operations is expanding. And they gave the bears everything that they wanted. And it's a bad look. But once again, just because Oracle is doing it one way does not mean that other companies are following suit because they're not.
Yeah. I think that, you know, there was even, I forget which one it was, Goldman Sachs, one of their analysts came out today. Yeah. Goldman Sachs asset manager ended up saying that if you really do follow the CapEx spend right now, and even going forward, 90% of it is looking to be funded by operating cash flows. 90%. And that 10% is names like Oracle that are putting a big scare into the entire industry. Like thinking like, oh, okay, well, if we continue at this pace for the next 5 years, then they're all going to look like Oracle. And that's not the case. And the big names that will succeed in artificial intelligence are the ones that have existing businesses that are already extremely strong. So you see Meta, you see Google, you see Amazon, Microsoft. They have massive existing businesses.
Tell me how different these look, Tanner. Look how much cash and short-term investment.
Really quick for everyone. We will be streaming the Trump speech. I see 1,000 comments about it. It will, but we've got 6 minutes.
And it will, what he says will determine if we're staying on it or not. Anyway. Look at the cash and short-term investments from the big four compared to Oracle, and then look at long-term investments, and then look at long-term debt. All four of these can write a check from short-term and cash without tapping long-term investments and eliminate all of their debt. Oracle has $100 billion in debt on the balance sheet at a net liquidity position of negative $80 billion.
Yeah. By
That's
the way,
not good.
Steve, you're one of the greatest friends that I've met on the internet. I love you. Great dude. Watching you use a computer hurts so much in my head.
Hurts
This
your brain?
half dark mode, the zoom in, but it says literally on your screen that it's zoomed at 100%, but the whole screen is the view of the numbers that we're looking through right now is insanity.
Yeah,
I would
it's huge.
love to see what your desktop looks like. I bet there's just icons going all the way in. You've never created a folder in your life. It's amazing to watch.
Anyway,
and I say that with all the respect.
Anyway, their CapEx is stripping out their cash from operations by so much that none of this is attributing to free cash flow. It's negative $13 billion. So all of their cash from operations is going toward CapEx and then some. It's a tale of two cities. The problem is it's only one company that's screwing it up for the rest. And this is why I think that this has got to pass. And people need to understand that Oracle does not set the tone for the rest of these companies.
Yeah. Yeah. We have to do in one of the after hours, I'm gonna fix up your whole setup.
I mean, fix my whole setup.
Like, I have a feeling that you have the ticker thing at the end because whenever you zoom over to the right, that you still want to know which rows that you're looking at. I can solve all
when
that.
I zoom in that big, I want everybody on screen to be able to see what companies they are. I know what companies they are.
Okay, but go back. I'm going to show you an awesome Sheets. This is going to save your life. Okay, zoom in. But don't click the 100% thing, go to 200%.
No, I use control and use the wheel. I like it.
The whole white screen is collapsing in on itself. Okay. Right click the A column. Go back. Right click the A column. Go down to the bottom. View more column actions. Freeze up to column A. Okay, now zoom over to the other things that you're looking at. Look at that.
Look at you. Great role model to society. I'll remember that.
I'm going to save you a lot of headaches.
There you go.
Me and you together, we could take over the world. Let's listen to Trump.
Yes, we could. I knew you could freeze the top pane. I didn't realize you could freeze column A.
Yeah. You can freeze multiple columns too. So if you need multiple columns to stay still. Tim Sweeney with the UBI. Thank you, Tim. By the way, I'm not going to see a penny of that from Tevis. So, yeah, just for future reference, I do appreciate it.
Tim Sweeney. And Tim, thank you for messaging me on X. I would not have seen that interview until I actually talked to Tanner. So thank you.
I got to tell you something after the show.
When you start conversations off like that, I get a little worried.
No, good news. Good news. Tanner's an expert in Excel. Yeah, because I right-clicked and froze a column. But I am a spreadsheet junkie. Whenever people tell me like new formulas or something like this, I honestly weirdly get into it. Freaking the sheets.
I got to tell you, I'm excited for 26. I do think we're going to get a broad market rally, but I think we're going to get big tech to rally also. There's a lot of companies I'm very interested in. Companies Tanner would never buy.
Like what? QXO?
Well, we know that. Coca-Cola.
You're looking to buy Coca-Cola?
I own it, but I want to buy more.
That's crazy.
I know. You wouldn't be caught dead owning Coca-Cola.
I couldn't imagine a worse investment.
Sure. Chevron. I really like Chevron.
I might like. I don't know anything about the energy trade, but like you look at the industry, energy's going in one direction. Also, I saw that because we were talking about Bernie earlier, that there was a great post that someone posted about the energy usage that has ticked up for the United States recently, and that's what he's been highlighting. Where was that? Because that just popped up whenever.
Next era energy's interesting.
Yeah, I just to go back. It's not even a political statement. I just think like it's a free market. Let businesses build. You know, if there is something along the lines of their energy consumption is causing the average person to pay more for those bills, for their energy bills, I don't think that should be the case. I think that those data centers should pay for every dollar that allows for the average person to keep their bills at the exact same pace that they were at before. So that's not what I'm suggesting. But also, they've got the margin to pay for it, so they still would do that.
Are we?
Trump is not live, by the way. I have the Associated Press open. 90,000 people watching. I'm staring at the White House from far away.
Yeah, great.
So, whenever that ticks over, and in fact, we can just put it on screen if you want, but I can switch it over once we start to see something.
Yeah, we'll switch it over. Just let me know when to bring it up.
Yeah, okay.
Imagine if this is just about the freaking UFC event at the White House.
I think a lot of people are thinking it's comments about Venezuela. I don't think so. Okay, go switch over.
Yeah, he looks serious.
Good evening, America. 11 months ago, I inherited a mess, and I'm fixing it. When I took office, inflation was the worst in 48 years, and some would say in the history of our country, which caused prices to be higher than ever before, making life unaffordable for millions and millions of Americans. This happened during a Democrat administration, and it's when we first began hearing the word affordability. Our border was open, and because of this, our country was being invaded by an army of 25 million people, many who came from prisons and jails, mental institutions, and insane asylums. They were drug dealers, gang members, and even 11,888 murderers, more than 50% of whom killed more than one person. This is what the Biden administration allowed to happen to our country, and it can never be allowed to happen again. We had men playing in women's sports, transgender for everybody, crime at record levels with law enforcement, and words such as that just absolutely forbidden. We had the worst trade deals ever made, and our country was laughed at from all over the world, but they're not laughing anymore. Over the past 11 months, we have brought more positive change to Washington than any administration in American history. There's never been anything like it, and I think most would agree. I was elected in a landslide, winning the popular vote and all 7 swing states and everything else, with a mandate to take on a sick and corrupt system that really just took the wealth from people and crushed the dreams of the American people. For the last 4 years, the United States was ruled by politicians who fought only for insiders, illegal aliens, career criminals, corporate lobbyists, prisoners, terrorists, and above all, foreign nations, which took advantage of us at levels never seen before. They flooded your cities and towns with illegal aliens. They decimated your hard-earned savings. They indoctrinated your children with hate for America. They just released a level of violent felons that we had never seen to prey on innocent. They caused war. They caused mayhem. They caused a horrible situation all over the globe. But now you have a president who fights for the law-abiding, hardworking people of our country, the ones who make this nation run, who make this nation work. And after just 1 year, we have achieved more than anyone could have imagined. Starting on day one, I took immediate action to stop the invasion of our southern border. For the past 7 months, 0 illegal aliens have been allowed into our country, a feat which everyone said was absolutely impossible. Do you remember when Joe Biden said that he needed Congress to pass legislation to help close the border? He was always blaming Congress and everyone else. As it turned out, we didn't need legislation. We just needed a new president. We inherited the worst border anywhere in the world, and we quickly turned it into the strongest border in the history of our country. In other words, in a few short months, we went from worst to best. We're deporting criminals, restoring safety to our most dangerous cities. Just take a look at Washington, D.C. It's at levels of safety that we've never seen before. And they decimated the bloodthirsty foreign drug cartels. We did that all by ourselves with our people, and we're so proud of it because they were poisoning and destroying our population. Drugs brought in by ocean and by sea are now down 94%. We have broken the grip of sinister woke radicals in our schools, and control over those schools is back now in the hands of our great and loving states, where education belongs. After rebuilding the United States military in my first term, and with the addition we are adding right now, we have the most powerful military anywhere in the world, and it's not even close. I've restored American strength, settled 8 wars in 10 months, destroyed the Iran nuclear threat, and ended the war in Gaza, bringing for the first time in 3,000 years peace to the Middle East, and secured the release of the hostages, both living and dead. Here at home, we're bringing our economy back from the brink of ruin. The last administration and their allies in Congress looted our treasury for trillions of dollars, driving up prices and everything at levels never seen before. I am bringing those high prices down and bringing them down very fast. Let's look at the facts. Under the Biden administration, car prices rose 22%, and in many states, 30% or more. Gasoline rose 30 to 50%. Hotel rates rose 37%. Airfares rose 31%. Now, under our leadership, they are all coming down and coming down fast. Democrat politicians also sent the cost of groceries soaring, but we are solving that too. The price of a Thanksgiving turkey was down 33% compared to the Biden last year. The price of eggs is down 82% since March, and everything else is falling rapidly. And it's not done yet, but boy, are we making progress. Nobody can believe what's going on. Here are just some of the efforts that we have underway. You will see in your wallets and bank accounts in the new year. After years of record-setting falling incomes, our policies are boosting take-home pay at a historic pace. Under Biden, real wages plummeted by $3,000. Under Trump, the typical factory worker has seen a wage increase of $1,300. For construction workers, it's $1,800. For miners, we're bringing back clean, beautiful coal. It's $3,300. And for the first time in years, wages are rising much faster than inflation. Remember that. The wages, just look at it. Wages are going up much faster than inflation. How big is that? Very importantly, there are more people working today than at any time in American history, and 100% of all jobs created since I took office have been in the private sector. Think of that. 100% of all jobs have been in the private sector rather than government, which is the only way to make a country powerful and great. This historic trend will continue. Already, I've secured a record-breaking $18 trillion of investment into the United States, which means jobs, wage increases, growth, factory openings, and far greater national security. Much of this success has been accomplished by tariffs. My favorite word, tariffs, which for many decades have been used successfully by other countries against us, but not anymore. Companies know that if they build in America, there are no tariffs. And that's why they're coming home to the USA in record numbers. They're building factories and plants at levels we haven't seen, AI, automobiles. We're doing what nobody thought was even possible, not even remotely possible. There has never, frankly, been anything like it. 1 year ago, our country was dead. We were absolutely dead. Our country was ready to fail, totally failed. Now, we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. And that's said by every single leader that I've spoken to over the last 5 months. Next year, you will also see the results of the largest tax cuts in American history that were really accomplished through our great, big, beautiful bill, perhaps the most sweeping legislation ever passed in Congress. We wrapped 12 different bills up into one beautiful bill. That includes no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. Under these cuts, many families will be saving between $11,000 and $20,000 a year, and next spring is projected to be the largest tax refund season of all time. Because of tariffs, along with the just passed One Big Beautiful Bill, tonight I am also proud to announce that more than 1,450,000, think of this, 1,450,000 military service members will receive a special, we call Warrior Dividend before Christmas, a Warrior Dividend. In honor of our nation's founding in 1776, we are sending every soldier $1,776. Think of that. And the checks are already on the way. Nobody understood that one until about 30 minutes ago. We made a lot more money than anybody thought because of tariffs, and the bill helped us along. Nobody deserves it more than our military, and I say congratulations to everybody. And by the way, we now have record enlistment in our military, and last year we had among the worst recruitment numbers in our military's history. What a difference a year makes. In addition, I'm doing what no politician of either party has ever done, standing up to the special interest to dramatically reduce the price of prescription drugs. I negotiated directly with the drug companies and foreign nations, which were taking advantage of our country for many decades, to slash prices on drugs and pharmaceuticals by as much as 400, 500, and even 600%. In other words, your drug costs will be plummeting downward. And I used the threat of tariffs to get foreign countries who would never have done it to pay the cost of this giant dollar reduction. They stopped ripping us off, and it began as of 4 days ago. There has never been anything like this in the history of our country. Drugs have only gone up, but now they'll be going down by numbers never conceived possible. It's called Most Favored Nation. And no president has ever had the courage or ability to get this done until now. The first of these unprecedented price reductions will be available starting in January through a new website, TrumpRx.gov. And these big price cuts will greatly reduce the cost of health care. I'm also taking on the gigantic health insurance companies that have gotten rich on billions of dollars of money that should go directly to the people. The money should go to the people. That's you. So they can buy their own health insurance, which will give far better benefits at much lower cost. It will be far better health insurance. The current Unaffordable Care Act was created to make insurance companies rich. It was bad health care at much too high a cost. And you see that now in the steep increase in premiums being demanded by the Democrats, and they are demanding those increases, and it's their fault. It is not the Republicans' fault. It's the Democrats' fault. It's the Unaffordable Care Act, and everybody knew it. Again, I want the money to go directly to the people so you can buy your own health care. You'll get much better health care at a much lower price. The only losers will be insurance companies that have gotten rich, and the Democrat Party, which is totally controlled by those same insurance companies. They will not be happy, but that's okay with me because you, the people, are finally going to be getting great health care at a lower cost. Another major focus is the cost of energy. For years, the radical left Democrats exploited the green energy scam as an excuse to funnel many billions of dollars into their own massive slush funds as their energy restrictions drastically drove up prices, and they drove them up at record levels. Electricity costs surged 30 to 100% under Biden, and the typical family lost $5,000 to $10,000 in higher energy costs. Think of that, $5,000 to $10,000 you lost. On day one, I declared a national energy emergency. Gasoline is now under $2.50 a gallon in much of the country. In some states, it, by the way, just hit $1.99 a gallon. And within the next 12 months, we will have opened 1,600 new electrical generating plants, a record, and it's a record that won't be beaten by practically, I would say, by anybody, or certainly not very soon. Prices on electricity and everything else will fall dramatically. The Democrat inflation disaster, again, the worst in the history of our country, also robbed millions of Americans of home ownership and indeed the American dream. The yearly cost of a typical new mortgage increased by $15,000 under Democrat rule. In 11 months, we've already gotten that annual cost down by $3,000, and it's coming down a lot lower. Wait till you see. The numbers are going to be shocking. And I'll soon announce our next chairman of the Federal Reserve, someone who believes in lower interest rates by a lot, and mortgage payments will be coming down even further. Early the new year, and you will see this, in the new year, I will announce some of the most aggressive housing reform plans in American history. A major factor in driving up housing costs was the colossal border invasion. We have never been invaded. This is the worst thing that, frankly, in my opinion, the worst thing that the Biden administration did to our country is the invasion at the border. The last administration and their allies in Congress brought in millions and millions of migrants and gave them taxpayer-funded housing while your rent and housing costs skyrocketed. Over 60% of growth in the rental market came from foreign migrants. At the same time, illegal aliens stole American jobs and flooded emergency rooms, getting free health care and education paid for by you, the American taxpayer. They also increased the cost of law enforcement by numbers so high that they are not even to be mentioned. For the first time in 50 years, we are now seeing reverse migration as migrants go back home, leaving more housing and more jobs for Americans. In the year before my election, all net creation of jobs was going to foreign migrants. Since I took office, 100% of all net job creation has gone to American-born citizens, 100%. In the end, government either serves the productive, patriotic, hardworking American citizen, or it serves those who break the laws, cheat the system, and seek power and profit at the expense of our nation. Look at Minnesota, where Somalians have taken over the economics of the state and have stolen billions and billions of dollars from Minnesota and indeed from the United States of America. And we're going to put an end to it. For so long as before my election, the vast majority of good and decent Americans were forced to watch as corrupt politicians plundered the halls of power, exploited our taxpayers, and pillaged every system that makes civilized society function. But not anymore, and you see that every day, not anymore. We're putting America first, and we are making America great again. Very simple. We are making America great again. Tonight, after 11 months, our border is secure. Inflation is stopped. Wages are up. Prices are down. Our nation is strong. America is respected, and our country is back, stronger than ever before. We're poised for an economic boom, the likes of which the world has never seen. Soon we will host the World Cup and the Olympics, both of which I got. But most importantly, we will celebrate the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. There could be no more fitting tribute to this epic milestone than to complete the comeback of America that began just 1 year ago. When the world looks at us next year, let them see a nation that is loyal to its citizens, faithful to its workers, confident to its identity, certain to its destiny, and the envy of the entire globe. We are respected again like we have never been respected before. To each and every one of you, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. God bless you all.
Okay, you can throw it down. I was like, no way this is going to be about a Venezuelan invasion. I mean, he's surrounded by Christmas trees and reefs and garland and everything. I was like, there's not a chance, right? You could tell immediately, by the way. One, he was talking like at the speed of a mitt while yelling like it was Tanner or something. But
Everybody can thank Tanner for that.
I think people enjoyed it. But you know, it's what I find amusing sometimes is you could tell whenever he's reading and he stays very focused, and then immediately his voice, his demeanor, his actions, his hands, everything changes whenever he goes off script. He's like, we have the Olympics and the World Cup, both of which were me.
The market is sold off for 5 days?
What?
You think he did that since the market has just sold off for the past couple of days?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't think it like, you think that's going to change anything? I think that the dovish Fed thing was nice.
Listen, I think sending checks to military service is great.
Yeah. But I was
very
talking specifically.
Military, so I'm especially 1776 is the number. I love the numbers. So listen, I love that. They deserve it.
I'm not making a political. I was just talking about what I think is nice for the markets. But yeah, I do think that that part was good for the markets. Was the dovish Fed that might change things, but yeah.
Listen, I think we get rates down to 2.5% in 27.
His energy was different though. Like, did that feel like a normal Trump speech?
Yes.
Yes. All right. I did not think so. I thought he was talking extremely fast. I thought the one part, the first time I heard him say that he was going to slash prices by 500 to 600%, I was like, all right, I know what he means. He means divide it by 5 to 6 times. Like, I get it. And then he said it again. And then this time was about probably the third or fourth time that I heard him say that. And I'm like, is this in the script? Like, that's not how math works. You can't slash prices by 600%. And then he said, we're putting up numbers that no one can conceive of. And I'm like, no, I get it. Yeah, I cannot conceive of slashing prices by 600%. And I get what he means, but I'm just surprised that it's still in the script. But yeah. Where were we, Steve?
I don't know. Where were we, Tanner? We're talking about AI. We're talking about...
That killed your mood, eh?
Look, I knew it was going to be like this. What did I say?
You're an American. You don't get like hyped up on an American speech?
I look at the numbers all the time about where agricultural is, where commodities are, what the livestock prices are at. This is all stuff that I know.
Someone said it sounded like a campaign speech. I find every speech that Trump gives is like a campaign. I find he sells himself. I'm like, brother, you've already won. And he still sells himself.
I'm not. Listen, like I said, if he was talking about something new that we didn't know, I'm all ears. But I just, whatever. It's funny that you guys are saying that I have TDS when you don't even know who I voted for.
No, I'm not, dude. I'm not making a political statement. I'm not,
Look, there are things that I like, and there are things I don't like. And
who'd you vote for, Steve?
This was nothing more than a rally cry. I was hoping to learn some
elections. Give us your checklist. Who'd you vote for? Through all of them.
I don't remember.
All right.
I don't remember.
Put this towards, as Jonathan just donated $10. Put this towards your Trump gold card, Tanner. Thank you.
This was funny. I swear Barron must have puts on the market, told Trump to talk about tariffs. That's hilarious. Thank you, Adam James. NVIDIA growth slows in 2 years. AMD should be 5. And then Jonathan is trying to get Tanner a gold Trump card. That's great.
If I were to live in the States, Stephen,
Yes.
where do you what state do you think would match my vibe? Where do you think I would be housed the best?
Wisconsin?
What's in Wisconsin?
Nothing.
Okay. I was not expecting that. Yeah, like
North Dakota, Montana. I feel like you wouldn't want to be in a big city. That's why I said freaking Wisconsin.
I live in Toronto.
Do you live in Toronto or near Toronto? There's a difference.
There is definitely a big difference, but
It's definitely a big difference.
I don't think it's I don't want to dox myself or where I'm at or anything
Yeah,
like this.
let's not do that.
But I don't think Wisconsin is anywhere remotely, the idea of being in the city or around the city.
Thank you, Sergio.
Amit's always more than welcome, but
Yeah, Amit knows that he is always more than welcome.
yeah, I send him an invite like anytime that I see him in the chat, and he's always welcome to come.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. You have a much more laid back vibe, so I think you need to be somewhere in Middle America.
That's yeah, all right.
I don't think you'd cut it in New York. Let's just say that.
But like, all right, yeah. No, I just feel like people in Middle America are like, that's like where the men live. Like those people take care of themselves. I don't take care of myself. People take care of me. Like,
right, but
doesn't that give you a little bit of like California vibe or something?
I think you'd get too annoyed in California, especially what you said about Sanders already. So there's no way you're living in California.
Yeah, but there's got to be a good middle ground. I mean, I don't even know of Wisconsin. I'm sorry, guys, but like, what is Wisconsin even known for?
Dude, cheese.
Jeez, I'm lactose intolerant.
A lot of people in our chat are from Wisconsin.
Mitt says, Tanner, you need to move into my building. Bro, you need to stop with those allegations, all right? New York is close enough.
You couldn't cut it in New York. I would love to see you trying to drive around New York City. I think you'd get flustered.
I don't even drive here. I wouldn't own a car in New York. I'd wait for an Uber. Nice Waymo, maybe, perhaps. Yeah, I don't think I could. I think Wisconsin was a terrible.
No, I think you need to be out of the way. Wisconsin, Montana, Dakota. I think you need like 10 or 20 acres and just relax.
Oh, that's what you think of me?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I think I'm more of a condo kind of guy on the water.
Oh, then Miami's great for you. Get you a nice floral freaking button down.
Miami sounds more like it for sure. Yeah.
Get you some linen sport jackets.
Mary?
I did want to talk about Robinhood and their event from last night.
What did you think?
I didn't watch it. That's why I wanted you to tell me what happened.
They ended up showing off more prediction markets, parlays, which I told you were going to come.
Yeah.
What's it called? Player prop bets? Is that how you say it?
Okay.
So individual player betting. Parlays. They're going to have custom parlays soon. They are just overall expanding into more prediction markets. There's now prediction markets on desktop. That was another ad. Then a bunch of different AI tools, like the ability to get portfolio insights, how your portfolio is doing against the broader markets, benchmark your portfolio, stuff like that.
Okay.
But overall, I think some people were a little bit underwhelmed because it didn't live up to the gold event or like the Robinhood Summit or something like that. It's not quite at the same level. I think it was a smaller product update. Could have been a live stream.
Okay.
But prediction markets, man, that is going to be huge. Seattle, I also think I could live in Seattle. From everything I've seen, Seattle seems...
You don't want to live in Seattle.
No?
You want rain half the year?
It's better than snow. Isn't that Microsoft's?
Dude, Seattle, I feel like gets a lot of snow. I don't actually know
Wait,
that.
is Seattle Microsoft or Amazon?
Yes.
Or is it both?
Seattle's Microsoft and Starbucks.
Okay. Dude, the amount of horrible Seattle comments that just came in. All right.
I mean, you could do Texas.
Yeah, I could definitely do Texas. But
I mean, are you moving? What's up?
I don't think it's that easy. Everyone just says, "Hey, come on down." But I don't know. Like ICE works on both borders. I'm not really just allowed to come down. I got to figure out a way to get there. So, yeah.
All right.
And that's even if I do. But boy, oh boy, like whenever it starts snowing here and like it's snowing, it's nice and cold. I definitely look to be like, okay, well, how do I move? And I don't actually want to just come down there for 6 months out of the year because I don't want to leave my house vacant. And, we got animals and stuff. So I don't know how that's going to work. But yeah. Matt says he's available for marriage. I'll think on it, Matt. Thanks. Any ICE loves Canadians? Yeah, I do know of someone that literally got deported because they were just staying down there way too long. They're supposed to stay there like I think a max of like 6 months or however it works out. It's like 1 day under 6 months, but they were down there for a while. Way too long. They got captured. All right, Steve, if that's it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at the same stuff. Salesforce actually green today by over 1%. I think Salesforce is going to be a 2026 AI catch-up trade, but we'll see what happens.
Dude, I love this community so much.
They're great.
They're so funny. Some of you, I wish like I could add specific like Twitch has like VIPs, so you could just sort of like highlight people. It highlights their messages whenever they come in. But then like I would love to highlight some of these funny people. It's amazing.
How about BM&R being under 30?
Yeah, I mean ETH is down 2,800. They're going to come down. I know people are getting like really frustrated with Tom Lee. Obviously, the price targets were extremely aggressive. And then he said, well, they're paying for Tom DeMark's software, which has been dead on for crypto. But then also with that, they're not acquiring a ton of ETH and they're not acquiring a lot of cash. So it's hard for me to gauge whether the DeMark Analytics is telling them that we've bottomed or if they're, sort of heading on the way down.
We need all the stablecoin stuff to take off in Q1 and really see some volume on it and see how much throughput there is so we can start to gauge how much Ethereum is going to get burnt off from it.
Yeah. JP Morgan just launched their thing on Tuesday, JPMD.
I mean, how are we going to be able to actually gauge what the throughput is? Because I really am interested to see how much, if Ethereum is going to be deflationary or not. Is there going to be a running tally somewhere?
Oh yeah. You can see the amount that they burn pretty much anywhere. You just type in like ETH supply over time. There will be a couple different sources. Artemis, you have what's the other one? Anyway, there's a couple of them. Glassnode, some of these ones that will track Ethereum issuances, that will track the burn rates, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I
Brother,
think that,
you gotta
what?
vibrate.
Yeah, I think we need to see Ethereum burn a bunch of it. I think we need to see a lot of throughput. Stable coins cannot come quick enough. And, unfortunately, Tom Lee made a very aggressive call that people took very seriously, and we're nowhere near those levels. And there's 16 days left in the freaking year. So I think that's getting people burnt out on crypto right now. We'll see.
Yeah, no, the problem with retail, or the thing that we struggle from, is if we have a very quick sell-off and then, return back to the norm, no one has a problem with that. Everyone buys the dip. Very, very easy. Liberation Day was super easy for us. However, whenever we have these long, drawn-out, slow sell-offs, everyone just starts to get, deflated and worn down on crypto, on equities, especially crypto, because it's hard to look back and just say, hey, what do I hold here? Is there a revenue? Is there a net income generating business behind this?
I mean, we got to address something that Maddie said, because he's right. I mean, look, a lot of people said that there's not going to be a crypto winter this time around. And I don't know if we're having a crypto winter or not, but I said from the beginning, Ethereum is incredibly volatile. You look at a 5-year chart, and we have had massive drawdowns. This is nothing new. And hopefully these drawdowns establish higher lows. It's going to take a little bit to rebound. This is nothing out of the blue.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I'm not worried. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
Do you think we finish up from here? I mean, we're at 67.50 on the S&P. You think we can get a rally over the next 2 weeks?
Yeah, not a big one, but yeah. I think we end up closing positively from today till January 1st. I don't see where the bearish catalysts are, and I think Micron just showed us that, another showcase that the spend on AI is not slowing. There's not a single company that's showing that they're slowing.
Well, it's funny that everybody seems to have forgotten how good Q3 earnings were. Q3 earnings were so good. And the funny thing is, we're back in the saddle in 5 weeks from now.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, let's wrap.
I don't know how to wrap.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching. Really do appreciate your time. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button.
Tanner needs to get in the sauna, everyone.
It is true.
Tanner needs to get in the sauna. How is your sleep score? Is it good?
I didn't track it yesterday, but honestly, I'm having kind of a bit of a problem with my watch, so I'm going to buy a ring.
You're going to get one of those Oura rings?
Yeah, I think so.
I was at a meeting today. 2 people had them on.
Yeah,
out of 8 people.
I might get an Oura ring, or I might get a Whoop as well. But my watch right now is lifting up a bit, and it'll shoot like that green light. I don't know what it's doing, but it'll wake me up from my sleep. So it's causing my sleep score to be affected by monitoring it.
No bueno.
No bueno. So definitely thinking of doing a Whoop or an Oura ring. Not sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, you should go get in the sauna. You should relax. And we'll see what happens. Steve is not going to freestyle. And we'll see what happens. Hopefully we're up tomorrow. Ooh, the futures are looking good. Look at the NASDAQ futures, up 133 points.
Little Trump pump?
Are we getting a little Trump bump? Maybe.
Seriously though, ice the boys. And Hong is joking, but it's very, very real. You got to ice your boys in the sauna.
We'll see if we get a Trump bump. I mean, who knows? Is 7,000 still in play? I don't know. I hope so.
Okay. The wrap should have been wrapped by now.
No, we have news. Hold on. House passes Republican healthcare bill without extending ACA subsidies. It just came out 20 minutes ago.
Michelle just said that that's a useful tip. All right.
This can't be why the market's up. It's got to be because of the Trump conference.
Dude, end the stream. You can't do this every week, or else I'm going to start having to set up the streams.
This is why we don't let Tanner set up the stream, everyone, because he'll just end it on you. I'm trying to delay this.
No, there's hundreds of people leaving the stream right now.
I know, because you said you want to kill the stream.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next Wednesday. Hopefully the markets finish the week green. Enjoy the rest of the night. Go relax. Tanner's going to get in the sauna. I'm going to go watch TV. Talk to everybody tomorrow. Have a good night.
Bye for now.